Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm in a really cool place. This is the Barbacan I have showed you several videos ago. We are just from a different side right now. And we will take a walk over there. You see the statue there? I will show you this in a second. I have not posted a video yesterday, but I will explain to you later on why. So stay with me and you will get the explanation. But before we go into this, I would like to ask you, those of you who are watching the content that I provide and those of you who are appreciating those informations from Poland, hit that like, because that like is free of charge and it really helps the channel to grow and also be more visible since it's recommended by YouTube. So I know that many of you are watching, but I feel sometimes it just takes a second to hit that like. And I'm saying this not just for my channel, but for any content creator that you watch and you spend hours of your life on listening to their voice and their words. So I appreciate those likes very much. It's free of charge, and this is the way you say thank you to me and to others, and how you give some energy back to us as well. So let me show you where I am. This is the statue dedicated to Grunwald. It was a battle that took place in 1410. It was Polish-Lithuanian Empire in that time, and they were fighting the Teutonic Knights. I hope you can see it well. Let me actually grab this phone a little bit different way maybe. And yeah, this is the statue. There is a place to sit down over there, but before we sit, actually I want to walk a little bit around and give you some news from Poland. Well, what they are talking about right now in Poland is this. Well, the first thing is that the time of US supporting Ukraine is coming to an end, approaching with big steps, I'm quoting before I get into my notes. So this is the news. They are already putting this out, and what this means, well, if this is already out, it means I will be like the loner. Poland will be the loner in this situation with helping, or if they follow so much this narrative from United States, how they're gonna approach this right now, I don't know. So there you have this info. And another thing not related to either military or political stuff, but I came across that, I believe yesterday, very recently, there was a ceremony of consecration of the new temple, Orthodox temple in Warsaw, just on the borders of Warsaw. So that's a new church, Orthodox church, which is pretty important information, I think. Let me see if I can sit here. But since we were talking about the balloon, guys, yeah, let's keep on walking. Actually, I think it's better. You can see some streets. It's very close to the Old Town. Old Town is actually right there. Where is Barbacan? All right, balloon. So there was an information put out, I think a day or two ago, that they found some parts of that balloon somewhere. I don't remember where, but I don't think it has been confirmed. So now they are still keep on looking for this balloon. And meanwhile, what's happening is, it's official information actually. Belarus is putting some missiles. Let me just show you the horses. We're breaking the stuff with some beauty. Okay, keep on going, no matter what. So, what's happening right now? We have Belarus that is putting out the missiles on the border with Poland. Let me just grab these notes here, because I have a very long interview from the general in Poland that I want to read to you. This will be quick. We have Belta, which I believe is Belarus agency. BELTA, Belta agency, revealed that Polonez and Toczka, those are the names, Polonez and Toczka tactical missile systems appeared near the Polish border. The range of the former is in the basics version, which is from 50 to 200 kilometers, while in the case of the latter is from 70 to 180. So Polonez, which is, by the way, we have a Polish folk dance, it's called Polonez, and we have vodka Polonez too, by the way, you know that. So Polonez from 50 kilometers to 200 kilometers, and Toczka, which in Russian means, is Toczka like a dot? I think it's that, right? It's from 70 to 180. Or Sharik. Sharik is that. I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm sidetracking as always. Both are used to attack ground targets. Just trying to get to more quiet area there. So I am thinking about this balloon. This will be a little free flow before I give you the article, because I have to sit down for that. And I'm literally so proud of myself, overcoming totally the social aspect of recording this. So guys, I'm actually questioning if this balloon even exists and who sent it out, if it was even sent out. That's my first point. Second is, they are losing this narrative completely right now because they are running off the ideas. I feel like first there was the rocket idea, now we have the balloon idea. They are not very creative with those ideas, so but Belarus is not stupid and they see what's going on here with shenanigans. I have a very interesting article that is with the general commander of the armed forces, who speaks about a form of mandatory training in Poland. It's a long walk, so bear with me. And this is titled, "The Army Does Not Exclude Mass Training of Poles." Let me start with this before I read you this. You remember almost a year ago, a little bit less than that, I was telling you about that Train with the Army project. Like, people were going over the weekend to train with the army, and I repeat this many times, like for fun, right? Eat the soup, grab the gun, run through the bush, and you're a soldier. And then they put you on the list, and there you have it. Knock knock, ring ring, show up. But there is another thing that I didn't know about that exists, and in this interview he actually mentioned it. It's something that takes place for 16 days, so it's not a weekend, it's actually 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks. That's some more serious stuff. So they spend more time on this training, and it's apparently already going on. Train Like a Soldier, I think is the name. Guys, we are approaching my quiet destination. So anyway, so they have this going on, and he actually admitted in this interview that this is like the basic training that people will have to get on the reserve list. Okay, before we get there, a little jingle here, a little side story. I went yesterday to an incredible place, Wieliczka, which is the salt mine in Poland. It's our treasure, actually. It's like a Polish national treasure. Very special place. And you will have the links, actually not the links, you will have the videos attached to this video. So if you want to watch a beautiful place, and I will tell you a few more things about this place before we end this video, but if you want to watch it, then just stay all the way to the end. Okay, I found a private place. So let's talk about this article. Again, The army does not exclude mass training of Poles. Does the army plan to restore conscription? The general commander of the armed forces speaks about a form of mandatory training, but the Minister of National Defense cut it off that for now there is no such a question. Like as if it's not existing right now, this topic. But let's go with this interview, because there is a lot of hints, in my opinion, what actually is not only taking place, but it might be very soon the reality. And that is General Wiesław Kukuła, I'm sorry, mispronounced his name. General Wiesław Kukuła, who is a general commander, in this interview says that in my intention the transformation model assumes a gradual departure from the model of passive training reserves in favor of training active reservists. Not so quiet. Permanently assigned to military units in which they develop their competences and model their careers over the years. For some time, I have been observing the discussion of experts calling for restoration of compulsory basic military service. During this discussion, alternative solutions to conscription related to, for example, obligatory but short-term military basic training of citizens and their further compulsory service in active reserve are completely ignored. And yet, such a solution could be a much better, less burdensome for citizens and more effective alternative to compulsory basic military service. Let me say it again. He actually believes, this general, that the best solution now to have would be to have obligatory training for every citizen. The group age is between 18 to 55, but let me go on with this. Journalists ask him now, right? He asked him, the journalist, does this mean that the army is working on some form of restoration of conscription? Currently, no work is underway regarding the introduction of mandatory short-term military basic training. It is also worth emphasizing that we are constantly increasing the pool of positions available for active reservists, trying to significantly increase their competences and strongly integrate them with military units. Such possibilities are provided by the law on the defense of the homeland. What is really important in this article, which you will find below this video, is it's a poll. It's not a poll. It was a social research done by IBRIS, which is Institute of Market and Social Research Foundation, which I never heard of. And that place asked how Poles would evaluate the idea that every citizen between 18 to 55 years old would obligatory take part in a course to learn how to shoot, learn the basic principles of defense in emergency situations. So hear this out, guys, because then I will give you a little bit of my opinion. When formulating this question, that institute assumed that so-called 16 territorial defense forces, which are treated in this formation as basic training work. We assume that in the event of a war, similar solution could be adopted on a massive scale, which we observe in Ukraine with a voluntary enlistment in the local territorial defense. What they are trying to say is this. Before I give you the number, the percent of how Polish citizens responded. Again, I don't know what was the amount how many people were participating in this, which is also crucial to have a bigger picture, because this can be very narrow. Are they trying to say that they are eagerly participating in Ukraine, the citizens, to join the army? What a BS. So there you have this twist. And here are the numbers. The idea of such a training, the obligatory training, was definitely well assessed by 39 of respondents, and rather well by 31.3, which means a total of 70%, over 70% of respondents accepted. Give me a break. I'm already like commenting here. 10.7 were badly reacting and to this idea, and 15% definitely badly. So they are trying to say that over 70% of Polish citizens are willing to have obligatory military training. And if people believe in this, I don't know what to say. I mean, well, they still believe that every citizen of Ukraine is eagerly marching towards the front line, right? Just like by their own will. Are they? Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. I hope this was making sense, what I just read. And if you could not make any sense out of it, you will find the article below the video, so you can read it yourself. Now what you're gonna see after this, you will see the clips from the salt mine Wieliczka, which is a place I've seen for the first time yesterday. That's why you didn't have a video, because I just wanted to have a different day. And I recorded some beautiful places inside that salt mine. I could not stop thinking about the level of sacrifice, hard work, true hardship, and working in such difficult conditions through so many centuries, like those people did, without electricity, without ventilation system. Horses were, you know, pretty much ending their life there because they never went up to the surface again. Salt used to be one of the highest priced commodities in the time. It actually, that mine was operating until I believe 1998, and then because they could not find more resources there, they decided to stop it. It's an incredible museum. If you ever are in Kraków, if you ever are in this area, I highly recommend you to go there and check this place, because it truly is a special place. And talking about energy now, because many of you totally agree with me, it's all about energy. There is a very special place in Wieliczka. When I entered it, I didn't see it, but when I grabbed my phone and I was recording the video there, it's a chapel. You have the statue of Mary, and across you have the statue, well, the cross with Jesus Christ. And when I was recording, I saw, I don't know if it's orbits, but the energy there. You can see those lights moving there. So I just want you to pay attention to it, because many of you will understand the frequencies like this, and we are all surrounded by this. And that's why I believe that God wins and light wins in spite of it all. It's just all this, and I say it, this is not a nice word, but all the shit has to come up to the surface so people can see it. I will end this talk here, guys. The rest of the video is from my tour yesterday. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, you can support my work by purchasing the books that I have written, by joining me on Locals as well. You can donate there as well if you choose so, but subscription, I believe, is free. And you have my other links as well. Thank you for watching, and lots of love, everyone. I see you in the next video. You can sit down if you want, okay? Come closer.
and it was a counterweight. We lifted up the block of salt, and we lifted down the wood. You can see the protections. Okay, 18th century, the excavation of the salt here. Okay, the chamber of the calculated weight. 19th century. Okay, wooden protection, but carved in the rock salt, and you can see the quite crucified wooden figure from 19th century, very well conserved. Okay. On the other hand, Our Lady, 17th century. Once again, wooden figure. Okay. And here, chandeliers with the crystals of pure salt. Okay, it's really nice, like a salt that you know. Okay, but here the floor. Evaporated, but in the past there was the presence of a ferry here for tourists, for rich tourists, okay, through this canal into the port. So it was a very, very nice surprise at the end of the visit.